we experienced some conversion issues from our file from our recording, so if any sounds sound off, we apologize ahead of time. Enjoy the episode.
No one's going to tell me who I can podcast with. No, I want this chick. She wants me, so fuck it. We're going back and podcasting. Valley Girl, coming up next.
Haven't Seen It with Tim Sestito and Tommy Tevening. Hello, everybody. Welcome on in. Thank you all so much for listening today. This is a podcast where one of us is watching a movie for the very first time. And today, that is myself. I had never seen Valley Girls. I hadn't heard of Valley Girls until Tommy's like, do you want to do Valley Girls? The 40th anniversary is coming up. And I'm like, what's Valley Girls? And then he told me what it was about. And I was like, okay, that sounds interesting. And I was like, what other ideas do you have, Tommy? And he just sent me all these horror movies. And I'm like, Valley Girls sounds good. We're going to do Valley Girls. You want to do the Evil Dead remake? Like, get
oh, dude,
out,
dude,
get
no,
out
no,
of town.
no, 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 no. Evil Dead movie remake is actually a solid movie. I will recommend that. We should definitely cover that. New Evil Dead movie is coming out this month, so it's relevant. So we're covering Valley Girl, not Valley Girls. It's singular to me. But you know, Nic Cage is coming up with a new movie this week called Renfield, where he plays Dracula. And this movie celebrating its 40th anniversary, and this is the first starring role Nic Cage ever had. So we'll get into it. Can't wait.
You can't see my face because we still don't have video capabilities yet. But I'm just looking at Tommy when he at the comment of the Evil Dead remake is solid, dude, and there's another one coming out, and it's like, yeah, that's great, dude. I had relatively no interest in watching the Evil Dead remake. So just leave it alone. Leave it alone. Leave it alone.
63% on Rotten Tomatoes. I think that's solid enough.
Wow. Oh, Rotten Tomatoes. Oh my God. Because this has been
So
Tommy, the whole point of this podcast is to be like, fuck Rotten Tomatoes. Let's think about what we like.
Yeah. So one thing I do like is Evil Dead remakes. But anyways, we're here to talk about Valley Girl, not about Evil Dead remake. I love this movie and I can't wait to get into it. So
yeah, before we dive into it, I will say this was like watching it and hearing the score. I was just like, this is such a Tommy movie. Why am I letting him pick what podcast we're listening to? Like, oh my God, like I'm just watching this. I'm just like, of course, this is a Tommy movie. I've seen it 5 times.
Yeah.
Of course you have. Yeah. Of course you have, Tommy.
Oh, yeah.
But before we get into Valley Girl, whatever.
Girl.
what movies have you watched this week? What's been on the docket, Cowboy?
All right. So I guess I'll talk about a more recent release I've seen. I watched the Mario movie. I decided to go watch it with my buddy, and us and a bunch of kids on opening night. And I actually kind of really liked the Mario movie. It was really fun. It was exactly what I kind of expected, just like a light little kids movie. The plot was kind of like whatever, very basic plot, but I thought it was like really humorous. Jack Black especially gave a great performance as Bowser. He's very comedic and like he belts out some songs. That was really fun. I mean, this is a movie that I would have loved to see when I was like 7 years old, and I think that it was overall like it wasn't amazing or anything like that, but it was a decent kids movie, and I think they did a good job. And you know, the visuals especially were great, especially like the whole. There's one sequence on Rainbow Road where they do Mario Kart essentially. It's like Mad Max but Mario Kart version. So it was an inventive movie and better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it looks like fun. It looks like, oh wow, I like for me it's more of like, because I remember seeing Sonic the Hedgehog 1 by myself in the theater full of children, and I was just like, I can't do this again ever.
That's why I had a friend go with me.
Yeah, it's sometimes it's harder to get people to go to that. There's a circle of trust of, do you want to go see the Super Mario Bros. Movie, dude? You know, there's a limited circle that you can't just fire that movie request out to anybody. Yeah, it looks like fun. Like it's one of those like, oh, like I bet if I had a kid and I took a kid to go see it and like I watched them like love the hell out of the movie, I would enjoy it more than like me just going being like, okay, yeah, like it's cute. It's not the worst. It's better than the one from the 90s. Like
yeah, that's not saying much.
Like I had a fun time for 90 minutes. That's kind of what it looks like. It looks like it's just and it's Illumination, which like their movies are usually very catered to kids.
Yeah, I mean, most of their movies are kind of mediocre. I mean, I didn't like Despicable Me and all that stuff. I mean, we're not the audience for most of these movies that they make.
Yeah, yeah, no, we're not the audience for it, which is fine. I remember when they announced it, and they announced the what's his name, Chris Pratt announcement, and then they're a bunch of nerds being like, "How dare they?" It's like they're making this movie for 5-year-olds. You guys, you people are nearly 30 complaining about this on the internet. Like,
Yeah,
go touch some grass.
it's so
Go for
funny
a
the
walk.
complaints. You see
Go
complaints
for a
on
walk.
Twitter.
Try rock climbing.
Yeah,
Try anything else if this is what has come down to your life. A movie catered for 5-year-olds. You're complaining about the voice actor. It's like, well, why didn't they just bring the original voice actor? Could you imagine the actual Mario game voice, like the "It's a me, Mario"? But
it
like,
would be so grating.
it
You'd
would
be tired of it
your
immediately.
brain would hurt after 5 minutes. There's a reason he barely talks in the game. He just makes
Yeah.
noises because that voice would get redundant after 10 minutes of a movie where he's your main character. Yeah, it looks like fun. I probably won't see it in theaters. Maybe guilty pleasure Sunday afternoon, HBO Max on the couch kind of a movie. Kind of a
That feels
deal
like the
for me.
legacy of this. And Chris Pratt was okay. I mean, like, I know people give so much shit about it, but he was fine. Whoever.
Yeah, I'm sure, I think I saw something where it was like, oh, like we wanted Chris Pratt because it's going to give that like blue collar vibe. And I'm like, I kind of agree with that actually. Like, I feel like he would give that element. Like, you have, like, I don't understand why people would want a 1-to-1 video game adaptation. Like, there's no story in Mario whatsoever. It's literally
Yeah.
Bowser kidnaps Peach. That's like, it's about gameplay. So it's
Yeah.
about somehow transcribing that together. And from the clips I've seen of it, it looks like it's done a good job of like showcasing the levels, like the implementing Mario Kart into it. I heard Seth Rogen not great as Donkey Kong.
Well, Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. I mean, he even said in interviews where he said straight up, I don't do voices. If you want Donkey Kong to sound like Seth Rogen, then I'm your guy. But if you want me to do a voice, then I'm not your guy. I mean, he was fun in the movie, but it was literally just like Seth Rogen. And like you hear the Seth Rogen laugh as Donkey Kong, which like I thought he was funny in the movie. I mean, like, I don't know. But it was definitely not an inspired performance by Seth Rogen. I mean, his voice roles are literally just like, oh, just using the laugh for fucking kids movies. Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't go see Mario movie. Maybe I'll probably watch it at some day. But for me, it's like, I
I'm
got
not
so many
7 years old.
I got so many hours in the day. Yeah, and it's just like, and it's a movie. Like, I kind of just know what it's going to be, and I'm like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
that's cute. It sounds like it's cute. I'm glad kids are enjoying it. Made $386 million opening
It's
weekend.
insane.
Talk about a grand slam home run. Like, man, people love the Mario. People love their Mario. A movie I rewatched recently, The Wolf of Wall Street.
Good movie. Solid movie.
Oh, great movie. Great. I love that movie so much. It is just like, it's long, but it's nice on video that you can pause it somewhere around the halfway mark and go through it. But what I love about like Scorsese, and especially that movie, and like I think a lot of people took away the wrong message of that movie being like, well, Scorsese's like promoting this whole life and this, that, and the other thing. And it's like, no. Scorsese is showing that's what these people are like. And then at the end, he's showing that even though people know that this guy is a cheater, a liar, a scammer, or this, that, and the other thing, people are still listening to him to try to make money. Like, people ultimately don't care. Like, that's the sole purpose of that. Like, that was the message I took away from that movie. Like, the whole sell me this pen thing at the end.
Yeah.
But just probably my favorite Leo performance, honestly.
It's definitely captivating, and it's a movie that like has definitely over the years like gotten muddled with the messaging, like you were saying. I mean, like I've known so many like finance bros that like love this movie like unironically and don't understand like the satire of it all. And even people like on fucking Twitter will say that too. But I mean, it's a hell of a rewatchable movie, and it's a movie that like even though it's like 3 hours, it doesn't feel like that.
No, it doesn't. It runs through its runtime, because it's a movie that took the drugs and added it to the screenplay and gave it that pace. But man, Scorsese's a master. I love that we talked about the Mario Bros movie and the Wolf of Wall Street in the same segment. But that's what I had loaded, ready to go.
Did I tell you my Wolf of Wall Street story? When I saw that movie in theaters, it was in the middle of a snowstorm, and then we had to push our friend Will's car up a fucking hill just to get the car going because it was fucking like little like Kia like small car, and we thought we were gonna die. Like we literally just like fucking went to go see Wolf of Wall Street, and this is the last movie we're gonna see during this fucking snowstorm. God damn it.
Great story. Thanks for sharing, Tommy. Okay.
Yeah.
This is Valley Girl.
Valley Girl stars cult hero Nicholas Cage as Randy, a street kid from Hollywood who falls in love with Julie, a rich kid from the Valley.
Hello.
Hello. Who invited you?
Oh, wow, you mean you have to be invited? Well, that explains it.
What?
Well, everyone is dressed for it. See, if I had been invited, I would have known this was a costume party.
Julie wouldn't be seen dead with a boy like Randy.
So when can I see you again?
I'm here with you now.
I know.
So her friends can't understand why she sees him quite a lot.
Like, don't you have parties over there? Oh, where? At the zoo?
This geek that she's with could scar her for life.
God. For life?
Yesterday I met a guy who kind of came about the night. He said, "Come on, take a ride," and I said, "Okay, yeah." They got a word for girls like
Valley Girl, a great movie with a great soundtrack, not to be missed.
That was the shortest trailer I could find for Valley Girl on YouTube. So
was it the UK trailer? Was there a British guy talking about Valley Girl?
I have no idea. It was the shortest thing I could find, man. I didn't even listen to it. I was rocking, and we had to record early because somebody has plans tonight, unlike some of us over here, but whatever. And I
Totally tubular.
Totally tubular, dude. And yeah, Tommy's like, "Oh, we gotta record. I'm like, "Okay, man. Okay, cool, dude. Yeah, we'll do it." And then I'm just like pulling the clips like at the end of work, and that was the shortest one. And I was just like, fingers crossed. Let's hope it's not like just like bah, bah, like the beeps the whole time or something like that. So that's the Valley Girl trailer. That's the story of that. So Tommy, for you, what makes this movie resonate with you so much? Like he said, this is one of your favorites. 4th, 5th, 6th time seeing it.
Yeah, this is a movie I discovered in high school because Kevin Smith talked about it on his podcast about how she loved it, and of course, me being the Kevin Smith that I was back then, had to go seek this out. But I mean, I think that just the message in this movie is just—it's a really fun movie. The soundtrack is just amazing. I love the '80s soundtrack right here. Last time I watched this movie was in August, and once I rewatched this movie, the soundtrack really hit me in a way where like I made a playlist on Apple Music that's specifically songs from Valley Girl. I still jam out to this day, where it's just like all my 80s classics. But I mean, like, you know, there's really tender moments in this movie. I mean, Nic Cage is really great, but I mean, like, a lot of what hit me on this rewatch was the relationship between the main character, played by Deborah Foreman, Julie, and her dad, like talking about like, who should I pick? Should I pick Randy or Tommy and stuff like that? And how the dad's talking about how, like, you know, there's going to be telling people to like who you should be with and what you should do and like that. But at the end of the day, who do you want? Like, and she's like, "Well, Dad, who should I pick? Like Randy or Tommy?" And it's like, "Well, why don't you tell me?" And it's like kind of one of those things where, like, in high school, you know, we've all gone through those phases where you try to fit in and like, you know, conform and stuff like that. And this movie's about like, fuck that, be who you want to be and be your authentic self. I think that's what kind of resonates with me in this movie.
Yeah, this movie, like, weirdly, it goes into the politics of high school relationships.
Yeah.
Like in a very like cruel but yet real way of like Julie's friends, you know, during her relationship with Randy as it's forming, are kind of like, we don't see her anymore. Like, you were with Tommy, you guys were supposed to be prom king and prom queen, like, and then they sit down being like, "Hey, like, it's either him or us. Like, you can either be with Randy or you will no longer be our friend anymore." And it's like, holy catty, my God. Like that's some bitchy behavior right there.
Yeah. I mean, talk about like the worst friends in the world where like they're not supportive. I mean, like this movie ends with Nic Cage, Randy, and Julie like end up like going away in a fucking graduate like shot of them in a limo together. And you can just imagine at the end of the movie that her friends are just like, "Fuck that, we're never talking to her again. Like, fuck Randy and all this."
It's not quite The Graduate. Like the whole, like, you've seen The Graduate, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like the ending of The Graduate is like them running away at the altar and then sitting there and going like, "Oh, like, is this a good decision?" Where this one was like, she takes Tommy's bracelet off and throws it through the window like, "Yes, I did it.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm with the guy I want to be with." That that happened. That's not The Graduate. Those are two
Well,
different.
yeah, but
messages there.
it's definitely inspired by in terms of the shots and
Oh
stuff like
yeah,
that.
the shot selection for sure.
Yeah. And there's definitely some references to The Graduate throughout this movie, especially with the random subplot that has nothing to do with the rest of the movie of the fucking stepmom trying to seduce this random guy who's like barely in the movie. Where
Oh
she like,
yeah, that was great. I love that. It was
Yeah.
it was so, but it felt like so apt of like it fit in the little world of Valley Girl, right? Like
Mhm.
a stepmom, a stay-at-home stepmom that's bored and sees a young boy that she can,
get it on with. And she even references The Graduate when she's trying to seduce this guy, where she's like, plastics, come on. Plastics, Fred, or whatever the guy's name was. And like the guy just goes over his head where he doesn't even think of like what's happening whatsoever. I just love the movie has a commitment where it's just like, we're going to spend like 20 minutes on the subplot. That's like, these characters are barely a part of this movie, but like, whatever, we're going to have this.
we have to get to 90 minutes. So
yeah.
we have this story. It's about 110 pages. We need to add 20 pages into this. Where can we beef this up?
Yeah, this movie apparently was originally conceived as like a teen exploitation movie to capitalize on the Valley Girl fad. And like Frank Zappa had a song called Valley Girl, so that's where the title of this movie came. And the director of this movie, Martha Coolidge, was told like, hey, you need to have like 4 or 5 like fucking boob shots in this movie in order to get this movie made. And that's where the movie came from. She like snuck in like boob shots very briefly, like split seconds at some points. And then when the producers saw this movie, they're like, wait, you made us an actual movie. Holy shit, this is better than what we thought we were going to get.
Yeah, and like because like it definitely could have been way more exploitive of like the nudity. It felt just more of like, this is what these characters are doing right now in terms of like the nudity versus,
It's not like Porky's or American Pie.
Yeah, where it's just like, it's like, here's boobs for 3 straight minutes. It's like, all right, cool. Like that was fun when I was 13, but
yeah.
like, and listen, I'm not complaining if they're in the movie. It's more of like, is it actually done tastefully? Are they like exploiting the actress that's in the scene? Or is it just like, this is what these characters are doing and it just happens to be in the camera shot? There's no like close up like boing wow like shot of boobies in this movie.
Yeah, this is not a boob movie.
No, it's a low-key boob movie, but it's not exploitive like Porky's is in nature. But for me on my first watch, and to be honest, I was occupied with working while I had this on too, so there's a lot of pausing, a lot of stopping, and I didn't have my full attention, viewers. I'm gonna, we'd like to be honest here on this podcast. I did not give my full attention to this movie. But for me, it felt, it's very much a not Romeo and Juliet, but like in terms of slightly like, they can't be together. Society says they can't be together. The families can't be together. But what do they ultimately want to be there is they want to be together. All I have to say, though, is that when she ends it with him and gets back together with Tommy, and then there's that montage of Nic Cage just like stalking her. I was like, that's the worst advice I've ever seen, and the worst practice of like, how do I get a girl back? Like, I'm going to be the movie ticket taker. I'm going to be the guy at the drive-through restaurant that brings the order out. Like, he was just just stalking this girl. It's just like, oh, like, dude, like that's creepy.
What I like about that though is that like the advice comes from his friend, his like best friend that tags along with him, this guy Fred. And Fred throughout the movie is shown to be this kind of just like fucking bozo, where like, all the girls he tries to hit on are like, just like get lost creep and stuff like that. So he takes this advice of his friend, is essentially like stalk the fuck out of this girl that just broke up with you. And in some rom-coms that would work or something like that for some reason, like weird creepy reason, like John Cusack holding the jukebox or something like that. In real life, you'd be fucking a creep if you did that. But in this movie, when that happens, Nic Cage is just bombing constantly, and Julie is just like, what are you doing, dude? What are you doing, you fucking creep? And it's not until like he doesn't take his friend's advice that he gets her back.
Yeah, but I feel like still it just didn't. They just got into a fight at the end, and then like he just took her with her, and then they were together.
Yeah, it could have been an adrenaline thing.
So it didn't feel like. It felt like they had this really great concept and then didn't really have a good way to end it. at all.
Mm.
Like in terms of like girls in love with a guy, but everybody in her life is kind of telling her, no, don't, you can't be with this guy. He's weird. He's this, he's that, he's the other thing. And then but like they have to end together because it's a cute 90-minute rom-com. So how do we get them together?
Mm.
And they just kind of put them together at the end, and it didn't feel earned at the end for me, honestly. Like it's a fun movie.
Yeah.
Like, don't
Well,
get me wrong.
What would you say? We have to ask this on every rom-com we cover. Do you think this couple lasts?
No,
Yeah, I think this is like a teen like fling kind of thing where like
they're what, 17, 18? Yeah, not a prayer.
Zero chance. I mean, even if like you take away the fact that it's just like they're so different, that it's probably gonna come up again where she's like, yeah, I don't know if I want to date Randy. Like the excitement's over. Like after a while, she's like, yeah, you're kind of just like a bozo, dude. You're getting drunk at this random nightclub all the time. First of all, is Nic Cage like they say that they go to a high school in this movie, but I kind of thought Nic Cage and his friend were like early 20s in this movie.
I think for legal reasons they have to be in high school.
Yeah. In terms of the plot of the movie, they're in high school, but like they didn't read like that at all. Because like you see Julie and her friends in high school all the time, but you never see like Randy's high school, which we could have gotten a quick shot of.
Well,
like
I think that was an interesting perspective where like this movie doesn't focus all that much on Randy until the end. Like this movie is not told from his POV pretty much whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like he is the secondary, which I think is a nice flip on the head of a lot of these rom-coms where it's, we always talk about the underwritten love interest. Like it's not that he is a little underwritten, honestly.
Mm.
Like we don't really know that much about him, like other than he's like the exciting punk guy. But it does flip that on its head where the perspective is from Julie's fully throughout.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely like give a lot of like notice to Julie and like her build on her family life, build on her friend life, and like definitely the movie, the majority of it's through her POV. But Nic Cage, I mean, this was his first starring role, and this is I think his first movie actually as Nic Cage, because he went by Nicholas Coppola before, but he wanted to get away from the whole Francis Ford Coppola relation. So I think he was great in this movie. I mean, what was your first impression of Nic Cage and Valley Girl?
Oh, he was a ton of fun. It's weird to see Nic Cage play a high schooler again. I mean, he did Fast Times, but
that was brief.
That was brief. But it's like we're just so used to him being like older guy, like seeing him this young. It's a little startling. But I think the crux of it comes down to is like what kind of chemistry do the actors have together? Mm-hmm. And Nicholas Cage and Deborah Foreman, they have pretty solid chemistry here, and I think this is a nice scene of him visiting her at work where they show it off a little bit.
What are you doing here?
I wanted to see you.
But why here?
What's wrong with this place?
This place is so gross. I mean, all this stuff that tastes like nothing is supposed to be so good for you.
What a bunch of slow.
Did you get in trouble the other night?
For what?
Coming home so late.
No.
Why didn't your parents find out?
Yeah, they were waiting up.
Don't they care?
For sure they care, but I'm supposed to develop into my own person,
Oh, well, that sounds good. How about a Coke?
Sorry. My dad said they supported the war effort and it rots the enzymes in your stomach.
Well, that sounds good to me.
Right. Hey, let's get out of here.
Don't you have to work?
I've got flexible hours. See you, Dad.
Bye-bye, sweetie.
That must be nice having hippie parents where you can just leave your job at the drop of a hat, where it's just like, oh, I'm going out with this guy, bye.
Yeah, I love her parents in the movie, how like after like they like she goes away to prom, her parents are like, want to go smoke some weed? Like, give me some of that stuff, huh, man?
Yeah, that's you to a T, Tommy, there.
Future parent Tommy. Deborah Foreman, I mean, like, I think she's really good in this movie and she's really fun. It's kind of like sad that she didn't have more of a like big career or anything like that. And the only other movie I've seen her in was like April Fool's Day, which was some random like crappy slasher that I wouldn't even recommend us ever watching. And like she was a real genius, but like very low down the casting list. And like this was pretty much her main movie that people are gonna remember by it. And like I could have seen her in romantic comedies for years. I think she was really fun in this movie.
And she had the look too of like a good, like a prototype of Meg Ryan, right? Like just that kind of like innocence of an it girl that a lot of these movies use in terms of like the look of the girl. And she just has that like sweet, charming, like you can kind of get why any guy would like fall for her. And it's just that like it's that initial attraction, right? Like I think a lot of times in these movies, and it's just hard to when you look at it from a screenplay perspective of going, okay, like there's a spark, and they show the spark with the with the look at the beginning, and they start talking at that party at the beginning. He gets kicked out, and then he waits in the bathroom for like a half an hour for her to.
Nic Cage is such a creep in this movie.
He's such a creepo weirdo. Like I'm on her friend's side of being like, dude, don't go out with this guy. Like he stalked you in a bathroom.
Yeah. Oh god. I mean, like, I forget. I just love like the music cue though when he's in the shower of Men at Work, and it's Who Can It Be Now? And there's a gif of like Nic Cage just peeking out of the shower that every time I see that gif just makes me fucking die laughing. It's great visual comedy.
And that's the thing with this. I think the movie has a lot of charm. It has a lot of like connection to it, and it has a very good like messaging of like picking what you want versus like what society expects of you, and does it in like it's fun in a fun way and in its own way. Like there's no like really overbearing plot. There's no like build up in the first 5 minutes. It's the big prom at the like I'm thinking like Back to the Future where it's like the enchantment under the sea dance or whatever it's called, and it all leads up to that. It's just like here's a natural flow of events, which I really like. I like that naturalistic kind of like timeline to things.
It really is like a hangout movie, especially like the first date of like Nic Cage and Deborah Foreman were like pretty much just the music montage of them going out in LA and be like, here's some cool spots in LA you can see right there, and it's just like this one cool song playing the whole time. They don't really go deep into it, but I mean like this is why one of my favorite movies, because the soundtrack just aids to it so much.
Yeah. So Tommy, what's your favorite song in the soundtrack?
That is quite a fucking question. I mean, like right now, I love Josie Cotton. She's the artist who plays at the prom at the end of this movie, and like she has a song called "School Is In," and she has one song that like has not aged good whatsoever. That one song, "Johnny, Are You Queer Boy," where like, you see the backup dancers in this song pretty much just like doing like a little like hand thing during "Johnny, Are You Queer." It's like, what the fuck how is this okay in the 80s?
Yeah, who knows how it's cool that they're able to get away with this. I love there's just the play of Electric Avenue. I love that song when he's just in the bathroom and you just hear, you got to rock down to
I think the best song in this whole movie, I mean, like, and this is what I think made the song famous, was I Melt With You, the modern English song, especially towards the end of the movie, like right when it kicks in, right when they get in the limo, and when that cue kicks in, it gives me goosebumps every time I watch this. So I mean, there's just so many good like 80s new wave in this that it's a really fun soundtrack to listen to.
Yeah, it's definitely that new wave, and like right when it was fresh too. So like imagine listening to like seeing this movie in 1983 and the music just is probably like, this is what I like, this is what I like, this isn't what's on, right at the time, where now it's just like, oh, this is the music from that all these movies that come out nowadays when they're in the 80s. These are all the songs that they use.
Well, yeah, they did a remake of this movie, which I haven't seen.
I did that. I saw that in my research. It does not look good.
Yeah, I have no intention to watch it. I mean, they made it into a jukebox musical, which I don't think is the worst idea, but in terms of execution, it seemed like really bad. And the cast was like Logan Paul plays the asshole boyfriend this time, and some random
jukebox musical.
Yeah. You know what that means?
Yeah, it's like it's like a sing-along.
Yeah, exactly. So instead of making it like a normal, just like a straight up remake, they just make it like, so like, oh, we're gonna do like some 80s songs right here and stuff like that. And we're all gonna sing them out loud, which could be very cringe very easily.
Yeah, and then apparently they wanted that to come out in like 2018. It got delayed or whatever. And then it was set
because
for
of Logan Paul.
May 8th, 20. Oh, is that it? Because he had that whole thing with the guys in Japan, like the suicide forest thing.
Yeah, I'm looking at the page right now. It says the film was delayed following controversies surrounding Logan Paul. So
that guy sucks. But
yeah,
and then they released a jukebox sing-along straight to video on demand during COVID.
And it definitely got buried during COVID because like no one ever fucking heard of it. I mean, so it's just like, I don't know. We didn't need a
That's-
remake for Valley Girl.
No, we don't. I'm sick of this. We don't need remakes for these movies. They can just exist as is.
The only time I ever like a remake, or like I think, is when they do something different with the property, or like they do.
Yeah, I guess jukebox sing-alongs different.
It's a different vibe, but I mean, like, still, it's just like, I don't know. You don't need to pluck this out of obscurity. I mean, like, a remake should be only for movies that like were kind of shitty at first, and like, you know, they didn't execute their premise fully. Let's just do another take on this premise. That's
Yeah,
what it should.
And I feel like Valley Girl like executed its premise perfectly and at the right time during the Valley Girl like craze, like that idea in the early 80s. So I feel like making a new version of it just feels like lazy. Like, okay, like we have this sitting here. There's a bunch of 50-year-old dudes that like this movie. Let's cater a movie to them. We're gonna put Logan Paul in it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, 50-year-old dudes like Kevin Smith loves this movie. Quentin Tarantino apparently loves this movie too. So just catering to that crowd right there.
I am a star. I'm a star, I'm a star, I'm a star. I am a big, bright, shining star.
Tommy, who is the star of Valley Girl?
I mean, there's only two options, obviously, like Nic Cage or Deborah Foreman. I'm gonna have to go with Nic Cage here. I think that like there's a reason why he became such a star right after this movie came out. He's very fun in this movie, and like even when he's during the breakup scene between the two of them, he just gives a great dramatic performances, and his character is very captivating. Like he's very infectious, where like you want to go on that ride to Los Angeles with him in this movie. So I think that if he wasn't great, or he was just like lame or whatever like that, this movie wouldn't work. So yeah.
You just see the charisma of Nic Cage like in full force and full throttle in this movie. It's like super apparent, and it just makes you understand why he became one of the biggest movie stars of all time.
Yeah.
I think Deborah Foreman has a great performance, excellent performance, but it's just overshadowed by just like a movie icon, and like without him, because like the movie falls on Deborah's shoulders, but it's one of those times where it's like, the guy with the less screen appearance probably was the breakout star of this, and I think history has proven that as well based on their acting careers.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, and this is a very like nuanced performance, I guess, from Nic Cage. Just not as big as like he's been known to be, and everything. That he definitely dials it back a little bit more than this.
Yeah. It's a more dialed in performance, but the charisma still like leaks through. It's not like he's not like campy or anything. It's just like it's him in seduction mode pretty much the entire time.
Yeah,
being
exactly.
a creep. Like those are the two instances in Nic Cage.
Yeah, pretty much throughout the movie. I mean, I do want to get a shout out to some of the supporting performances, because I think there's a lot of good supporting cast. Tommy is the asshole boyfriend. Michael Bowen, who is in Breaking Bad apparently, and Elizabeth Daily, who plays Tommy Pickles in Rugrats as one of the best friends. Both of them are really good in this movie, and I think that really adds to the world of this, where like the characters within like the preppy jock boyfriend assholes are just really fun too.
Are you ready, comedy partner? Waka waka.
Tommy, would Valley Girl work as a Muppet adaptation?
I think that what you'd have to do is make this movie, every single female character is just Janice from the Muppets. And that's it.
That's it.
Yeah, Nic Cage stays the same, but everyone else is just a bunch of Janices.
I kind of like it. Piggy's Julie, and then everybody else is the same. Yeah, I mean, it would just be like, do you want to hang out with the Muppets for 90 minutes? Like, there's not enough here to be able to. If we were going to pitch to Disney, like Valley Girl wouldn't be the number one. But if it became if we had our Muppet Cinematic Universe up and running, this would be one of those. What's a cheap one that we could put straight on Disney Plus? The
Muppets adaptation of this would be the jukebox musical of this, where it would have to be.
It would have to be 100%.
Yeah.
All right, Tommy, review time. Give me your scores out of 5.
I fucking love this movie. I think it's just very fun, infectious energy. Nic Cage is really fun. Deborah Foreman gives a great performance, and her relationship with her parents and the things she talks about are just really resonate with me. I'm gonna go 4.5 out of 5. I love the soundtrack here. This is a movie I'll rewatch for forever. I mean, this is my 5th time rewatching this. I'm sure it's not gonna be my last, and I'm gonna rewatch this a ton and ton again. So 4.5 out of 5.
Yeah, so for me, I think Valley Girl, I'm gonna give it I want to say a 3 out of 5. And I think for me, I didn't watch it under ideal viewing circumstances. So I have a busy look at it. I didn't get it in a coherent screening. It's really fun. Like, I had a lot of fun with it. I think at the end, it just ultimately fell into the tropes of like, well, she's gonna go with him because she's gonna go with him. But the soundtrack's incredible. The focus on Julie is great. Her parents, great. Like, the relationships she has in her life, like, we really dive into those. There's that random subplot with the mom, which is just fun to watch. So I give this a 3 out of 5. I definitely owe it a reviewing when I can just focus directly on it. But it's not to say to not watch it. Like, I do want to watch this movie again. It's just where I feel right now, and I'm basing, as her parents say, you got to do what you're feeling. So that's what I'm doing. I'm following her parents' advice.
Yeah.
3 out of 5. All right, Tommy, any final thoughts before we wrap it up?
Nic Cage is awesome, and I'm gonna listen to the soundtrack tonight. But anyways, thank you guys for listening to this podcast. You can follow us on social media at CNETPod. That's on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And leave us a 5-star review, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. It really helps us out. And get ready, because we are going back into the world of Godfather next week. Godfather Part 2. We said we're going to do it last year, and here it is. I'm finally going to watch Godfather 2. Get ready.
You have to watch Godfather 1 as a preface just to get yourself caught up again, Tommy.
Oh, God. It just make me do like fucking 6 hours of movies this weekend.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You've been a difficult man to get in contact with. That's right. I'm punishing you.
So get ready for Italian Mob Epic 2, Part 2.
Thank you guys all so much for listening. We'll see you next week.